Hey everyone, Reaper here again with another video. This time it is Affordable Key Comic Books Part 6. I love this series. You know, it really does give me a opportunity, a chance to just say, hey, let's go through the collection, let's pull out a couple of books. Now these keys are not necessarily heavy keys, that from the 60s and 70s before all that stuff, but they are books that have some first appearances. They have some things go on that make them more key than others. So with that being said, let's look at the other pile, this other pile of books that I brought together for this video. And as you can see right here is my mascot. He's been in a couple of videos now. He's slowly becoming the new mascot of my channel. The Dragon Quest Slime. It's actually a controller, PlayStation 2 controller, when Dragon Quest 8 came out back in 2005. Anyway, let's get to the comics. This one you could probably, let me adjust this just a little bit. I gotta get a better thing to hold these books up, but that other one I had just sucked. And I've just been too lazy to get another one. Anyway, Supervillain Team Up number 5. This is probably a book you could find in dollar bins. You could probably stealth buy this book. And maybe, if not, probably get it for $5, right? Again, disclaimer, I'm not talking about 9.8s or 9.6s because they command a serious amount of money. But I'm talking like between 8.0s and maybe 9.2s, maybe even 9.4s. But anyway, this book will probably run you like $5 if the dealer is wise to it. If not, I think most of the time you can find this in dollar bins or maybe even cheaper than that. Supervillain Team Up number 5. This is the first appearance of the Shroud. I first found out about the Shroud back in the early 90s when he appeared in Spectacular Spider-Man. I don't remember the number. It was 2 something. I was like, oh wow, this is a pretty cool character. And then I went hunting for his first appearance, and here it is. Here we have some books now. These books have, talk about falling from grace, right? The Man of Steel number 17. What is this? This is the cameo of Doomsday, the character that would later go on and kill Superman. I remember when this book came out back in, what was it, 92? I think it was 92, early 93, whatever it was. Man, there's so much interest in it. People were just going nuts for it. And then, of course, it's, died out. But I believe this storyline was one of the many things that led to the collapse of, almost like the collapse of comic books in the 90s. Of course, having all those number ones and those hologram covers and all that contributed too. But it brought in so many people that weren't comic collectors into the hobby, thinking that, wow, if I buy so many issues of this book that has over 1 million copies printed, I'm gonna, these are great investments. And I think that's what this Death of Superman thing really triggered a lot of that. It might have been the catalyst for it. But anyway, what is this book? Can you get this for like maybe $10? Maybe $20, higher grade. And this one too, the first full appearance of Doomsday. I think the third printing of this goes for more money because I think it's actually scarcer. But whatever, still all pretty affordable. Even the third printing, I think, is affordable. I mean, how much are you going to spend on that, right? Here we go. I can imagine there's a lot of interest in these 2 books right here, with the series coming out. Well, I think anything with Swamp Thing is pretty, anything where he's a major player in anything is important right now. So anyway, sophisticated suspense for all of us that are sophisticated. Swamp Thing number 49. This is the cameo of Justice League Dark. Now, I like this book not because it's the cameo of Justice League Dark. Believe me, I couldn't care less about Justice League Dark. I just love the cover. The cover is just super awesome. Just a close-up of Swamp Thing, and it's just so cool. Now, for those of you that really, really care about Justice League Dark, well, then you got this one. I believe this is the first full appearance of Justice League Dark. Not a bad-looking cover, right? But it's number 50, Swamp Thing number 50. So, something to look for. Now here we have a couple of X-Men books, a few actually, from the Silver Age. How about that? We got some affordable books perhaps from the Silver Age. X-Men 49. Now, you're saying, wait a minute, that's the first appearance of Polaris. How could that be affordable? Well, no, if you get a 9.6, a 9.4, 9.0, probably isn't. But this is probably like a 5.5 copy. It's still nice. It could use a press and a cleaning. It might go up to a 6, maybe. Doesn't matter. But you could, if you look for this book in a mid-grade, you could probably, get away with getting it for maybe about $100. Now this is one of the more expensive books in this video. Okay, I try to keep it under $120. As I, like I said, I try to keep things under $120. Sorry, I forgot to. I just realized I didn't tell you what you could probably get these two books for. I mean, what, like maybe $10, $15 a piece? Anyway, let's get back to this one. Like I said, in a mid-grade, you could probably get this for about $100, maybe even less. I don't know, but it should not be over $120, okay? But whether or not they plan to do anything with Polaris in the future, that might alter this book and may no longer be an affordable key. But I definitely think that this one's more affordable than the 50. The 50 with that classic Steranko cover. This is also a Steranko cover, but that classic Steranko cover, it goes for a lot more. But this one I think is definitely affordable. You might even get this for like $50, so it's definitely worth getting if you're an X-Men fan trying to get all the major X-Men characters. Polaris, I think, is definitely one of them of sorts. But man, Steranko, he really knew how to draw women. He really did a great job. Kirby, not so much, but just look at Jean Grey there. Looks so much better than the Kirby renditions of her. But definitely a cool one to pick up, X-Men 49. And here we go. So another X-Men. Now this is more affordable, X-Men 62. Now the reason why I like this book, and it's not the first appearance of anybody, because I know most of the things I showcase in these videos are first appearances and so forth, so I get that. But this is not the first appearance of anybody. But the reason why I say this is key, and this is a good one to have, and you can probably get it for like $30, $40. This is probably, what grade is this? My copy's a 7.5, so you could probably get that for maybe about $40 if you're willing to spend that much. I don't think it's going to cost you that much. But anyway, the reason why I think this one's key is because this is the first time you see Magneto without his helmet. Previously, in all the times that the X-Men encountered Magneto or other characters in the Marvel Universe encountered Magneto, he always had his helmet on. You never saw what he looked like. But at the end of this book, I forget what X-Men character, I haven't read it in years, but I forget what X-Men character stumbled upon a man that helped him while they were in the Savage Land, and it turned out that this man was Magneto. You saw the man's face and all that stuff, but you would have never thought it was Magneto. You didn't find out it was Magneto until the end when the man walked over, I guess, to his little desk area and put his hand on the helmet. And then you're like, whoa, it's Magneto. He looks just like an older Quicksilver. It was really cool. I think that was a really well done reveal of someone you never saw outside his uniform or his helmet. So definitely one to get. And we're jumping back to number 51. Why is this a key? Is it a first appearance of anybody? No. It's just another classic Steranko cover. Look at this. Look at the shadowing. Look how the X-Men are drawn. It's just a beaut. It's an absolute beaut. And it's another one of those books you could probably get for about, mid-grade or a little higher than mid-grade, about $40. Not that much. Yeah, with a little patience, you could find a lot of these books for a lot cheaper than probably what I'm saying. All right? Even in higher grade. Here's another one that's pretty popular, but it's getting up there in price, but it's not super expensive by any means. This is Tomb of Dracula number 13. This is the origin of Blade, and it's the first appearance of, what's that guy's name that was in Blade 1, the main villain? Frost. Deacon Frost, that's him. A little different in this book, right? Deacon Frost is a little different than what he was portrayed on the silver screen, but that's okay. But yeah, this is definitely a key book to get. And you could probably get like a nice 8.0. What grade is this? Yeah, mine's a 6.0. So this is probably like a $20 copy, if that. But maybe not even that. But you could probably get a nice higher grade copy for like maybe about $50. around that. If you're really a Blade fan and interested in getting Blade stuff. Here we go. Almost done. Got two more after this. Avengers number 80. This is the first appearance of Red Wolf. Again, it's probably, my copy is 7.0. Yeah, 7.0. So it's probably like a $30 copy, if that. Maybe a little more, maybe a little less. I don't know. I bought this years ago. I don't remember. But I don't think, from what I've seen when I've seen this on walls, it's no more than like maybe, depending on the condition, maybe $30 or something like that. I think at one time it was a hot book, but I think it's cooled down. So you could definitely still get this. I think there are a couple of Red Wolves out there, but this is the first. And here we have one that's pretty affordable. And he appears in the Marvel movies. First appearance of Scott Lang, the Ant-Man in the Marvel movies, right? This book could probably get for like maybe, depending on the grade, I don't know, maybe $30. I don't think this is a $100 book. Maybe when Scott Lang was announced, it was a $100 book, but I don't think it's a $100 book now. I have a 7.0 copy, so it's not totally high grade, but it's not low grade either. But you could get a really presentable copy for under $50, I think. For those of you that are trying to get all the characters from the Marvel movies that are within range, within reason, right? This is definitely one of them. And the last one for this, and I think this is a bit of a spec book too. So because of a recent TV series or whatever, I don't even remember what the name of it is. But anyway, Tales of Suspense 94. This is the first, I believe, full appearance of MODOK. I believe he makes a cameo in number 93. But you could get this book fairly cheap too. But I think it's now a spec book because of the series that he's going to be on with Howard the Duck and a bunch of other characters that I couldn't care less about, or quite frankly don't even know about. But MODOK. I first found out about MODOK. See, because I wasn't, even when I was reading comics back in the day, I didn't really read Avengers. I didn't read other characters like Captain America and so forth. I read XMen and Spider-Man. And I don't remember them encountering MODOK, or at least when I was reading them. They probably did. But my introduction to MODOK was through those Marvel vs. Capcom games. The same way I encountered X-23 and Shuma Gorath and all that stuff. I wasn't a big fan of. I stopped reading after way before X-23 showed up, so that's why I didn't know about her. But I didn't know too much about Shuma Gorath because I wasn't a real big Doctor Strange fan. Just as I wasn't a big fan of Captain America and Iron Man and Avengers, so that's why I didn't know too much about MODOK. But this is his first appearance, and this is a 7.0 copy. I think you can get it under $50, or maybe a little more, depending. I don't know. Maybe it went up a little bit, but it's still relatively cheap and mid to somewhat low high grade copies out there. Well, I hope you enjoyed part 6. I'll probably do another part 7. I don't know when. I still have to go through my boxes here and see what I can dig out for all of you. So thank you all for watching, and stay tuned.